Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you like these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise you I will update daily. If you like this watch, you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing the latest generation IWC Pilot's watch chronograph 3777-09, part of the 2016 Year of the Pilot at IWC. This 2016 SIHH debut is one of the hardest working watches in luxury horology. An iconic piece from IWC, it is big. 43 millimeters across the round of the case, not including chronograph pushers or crown. Big is the style, however, and this is the closest you'll get to a big pilot's watch chronograph. Big for visibility, it certainly accomplishes the mission. It's not terribly thick for what it is. At 15.4 millimeters thick, you'll find, thanks to the stepped case flank and sloped bezel, it'll have no trouble slipping underneath a jacket. Maybe not a dress shirt cuff, but a jacket cuff. Lug-to-lug, it's a big watch with a big wingspan. 53.6 millimeters, however, is almost exactly what a 44 millimeter Betterini case Panerai Luminor measures. So if you can wear that, you can wear this. And I would say this watch is suitable for a wrist as small as 14.5 centimeters in circumference. If you want to wear it with proportion and security, that's my size recommendation. Now, in between the lugs, 21 millimeters, if you wish to accessorize, there are a few watches that look more natural on a strap than an IWC Pilot's watch of any stripe. However, I implore you to at least consider the factory strap, which is executed to a very high degree. You can see black alligator leather, or rather calfskin leather, I should say, with a contrasting stitch in aviator's fashion. It has a sheer cut side profile, so you can see that the layers of construction are revealed. That's the difference between a folded edge and a sheer edge. A sheer edge doesn't necessarily have to be thick, but you should be able to see the layers of the strap, and that's aviator fashion here. You can see the bottom is also calfskin, and the buckle is nicely executed with a slotted design, so that when you strap this one down, the strap actually sits between the slots. You can see how it actually sits inside the buckle rather than being pushed down below the buckle. That's what that slotted design accomplishes. It sits more flush against the wrist. A smart refinement on an otherwise simple component, deceptively simple. It's also thoughtfully finished with polished facets and a satin finished center, as well as vertically satin finished sides. Moving back to the case, more satin finish. The name of the game is minimal glare, and the watch certainly accomplishes that mission. Polish is used sparingly as an accent rather than as a dominant feature. That's the difference between a Breitling aviator's watch and an IWC aviator's watch. You can see the polish of the bevel along the flanks of the lugs in the case, and the polish of the bezel along its outer circumference, but for the most part we're looking at satin finish and a glare-resistant finish. You'll also note the dial adheres to that ethos, with reduction of glare being a primary intent of the matte black surface. There is AR coating on the crystal to further reduce glare. The watch is nicely laid out with the same no-nonsense instrument style pioneered by the Big Pilot's watch in its original iteration, the BR, during the 1940s, and later as the Big Pilot during the 2000s. This watch is definitely more Big Pilot than Mark, even though the Pilot's chronograph series dates back to the early 90s in the pre-Big Pilot era. Instrument-inspired, it looks like something you'd see on the flight deck of an old analog aircraft from the 20th century. Big broadsword hands, robustly loomed. You will enjoy the loom shot of this watch. There's a small concentric circular guilloche pattern to each of the sunken sub-registers. So though the dial is printed and it does feature a matte finish, it's not monotonous nor is it flat. There are apertures and steps from the plane of the dial down to the monotone day and date discs, and there is a double quick set for rapidly setting both. You will note a distinct constant second subdial at 9 o'clock, so you will never confuse that with the chronograph functions. Fire this one up, easy to read chronograph seconds, read with an enormous counterweighted Lancet style white lacquered seconds hand. The crown is a screw-down unit, and with a screwed-in caseback and special seals, the watch attains both 60-meter water resistance, which IWC rates as sufficient for surface swimming, as well as the ability to retain crystal as well as seals if the watch should be involved in explosive decompression of a cockpit environment. You may never need it, but like the helium escape valve on a Sea Dweller or an Omega Seamaster Pro, it's a great conversation starter, and hey, luxury is about getting more than you need. Junkers U-52 aircraft, a tri-motor, of which IWC has been a leading preservation proponent over the years, so the aircraft depicted does have a link to the manufacturer. What you can't see underneath that solid caseback is that there is a soft iron cage, much like a Rolex Milgauss or a vintage IWC Ingenieur, that helps to protect the movement's ferrous hairspring from the effects of magnetism. You would be shocked how powerful the magnets in your laptop speakers can be. I've seen laptops magnetize watches, so if you think that's a fatuous and frivolous flourish, think again. That is something you can use every day, and you might not even have known as you typed away on your laptop. The movement is what's known as a 79320 in IWC speak, which is to say it's an IWC regulated high-grade Valjoux 7750 base. IWC does specify the highest grades and then regulates them internally. 28,800 vibrations per hour, 25 joules, hacking or stop seconds with that double quick set for the day and the date. The 44-hour power reserve energized by a highly efficient unidirectional winding system. This one's tank tough on the inside and all business on the outside. See this no-nonsense aviator and take flight on the watch box. And I'm back with the IWC Pilot's Watch Chronograph, the 3777-09. I promised you an epic lume shot, and here it is. You can make this one yours on our website, thewatchbox.com.